All right, finally after about 2 weeks we're back at the 820. I can't remember when I posted to the last video, but I know it's been at least 2 weeks since I worked on it. Been sick coupled with some work stuff, just hadn't had the time. But anyway, hopefully we can make some good progress today, because over the last couple weeks what little bit I have done, one of those things has been to actually get the water pump painted. And get gasket surface all prepped and everything. So this was a really slow process. It's been, had to paint it and put, I think there's 2 coats of primer and 3 coats of actual paint on there. But basically I had to paint it and then walk away for a couple days while I let the paint set, and then come back and paint it again. Had to do that simply because the cold weather. Next we're going to get it all set up. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the RTV stuff on everything, all of the gasket surfaces except maybe the water pump surface. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's a reason I have a pointer in my hand. I've been watching this, and this is something that I'm somewhat concerned about, and this is probably one of the next projects. But if you look, you can see there is no water anywhere on the frame of this tractor. That is oil right there. That is the power steering pump, and I'll come over here to the other side so we can get a better view. But that is the power steering pump, and so what I do is I have my handy dandy little mirror right here, and I looked all into there. You can't really see it because it's kind of hard to do. I don't think necessarily that that's coming from I don't think it's coming from the seal there. I think it's actually coming from these connections. So something I'm going to do before I get too excited, because you can kind of see, let me see if you can see that. You can kind of see the fluid there. Let's see if that can focus. Come on now. Come on. So anyway, you can kind of see that there's fluid underneath those fittings right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if I can tighten up those fittings a little bit before I really kind of shove the air cleaner and everything back under there, or back up there. So I'm going to do that before I put the water pump on, and hopefully that solves that problem. If not, then I might have to get some new fittings or something along those lines. So anyway, let me get some lights set up here. So I'll go ahead and tighten those fittings up, and then I'll get everything set up to do the water pump, and we should be good to go. All right, so we're going to put you there, and you can kind of watch me do this. I said in my last video that I don't do this kind of stuff, and I really don't, but we'll see. So I've got all the gasket surfaces prepped and whatnot. So now it's just a matter of getting everything lined up, and I've already messed up. And so I really don't like paper gaskets, but not a whole lot you can do about them sometimes. Tell you what, this is a whole lot easier to take off than it was to put on. And get 2 in, we're good to go. There we go. Alright. I've still got to look in the manual, because I have no idea what kind of torque specs, if there's any listed, for these bolts. This one on the bottom is going to be a real pain to get to. I had trouble getting it out to start with, and going back in is no different. Just doesn't really want to line up right. There we go. Okay. Now, just going to go ahead and, oops. Is it 9/16? So these are 9/16 bolts, so I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm not really tightening them down, I'm just snug. Okay. And then this bottom one really kind of presents a challenge because it's really blocked by the pulley. And I'm sure every time I hit that on the every time I hit that on the side of the frame, it vibrates right through the camera, so you probably can't hear much. But, so, I'm going to go ahead and, I forgot to look up the torque spec, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the manual and see if I can't find a torque spec for those bolts, and then we'll come back and I'll torque it up. Alright, so we're sitting here looking at the installation. And you know, sometimes I should remember that, you know, torque specs, even though they've been around for a long time, not every manual has them. And I think it's one of those things that I haven't put this in a video yet, but I just got a technical manual for the 1445, and that's like 1,200 and some odd pages, and half of it's electrical. But anyway, so the torque specs. It says installation using a new gasket, install pump into position on tractor, tighten cap screws evenly and securely, and install lower radiator hose. So I suppose all I need to do is tighten them up. What I'll do is I will get a torque wrench and tighten them up, and I'll see where I think they're tight, and then I'll make sure they're all the same torque. So I'm going to get a torque wrench and an adapter for the universal adapter for that bottom one, and we're good to go.